When a shrink ray shrinks 4 kids to a quarter inch, they are tossed out in the trash. The kids face many hurdles as they try to make their way home through the jungle of their own backyard. Will the kids be able to get back into their house? Stay tuned to find out. The movie begins with the mailman handing over the mail to the dog of the Selinsky family, Quark, who immediately takes it inside the house. Quark leaves the mail on the tables and barks to gain Nick's attention. Inside the house, Amy is making breakfast and conversing with her friends over the phone. She is very happy because a boy at school has asked her to the dance. She also tells her friend that her parents are having marital problems. Nick asks Amy about their mother's whereabouts. To comfort Nick, Amy lies that their mother will be back and that she's just gone to get a carton of milk. Meanwhile, Quark goes to the attic, where Wayne Selinsky is working on his new project, a shrink ray. From the kitchen, Amy, Wayne's daughter, informs him by pressing a button that breakfast is ready. Wayne replies to Amy through a printed paper that he will be down in 5 minutes. On the other hand, Big Russ, Wayne's neighbor, wakes up from the noise coming from the Selinsky's attic. Big Russ is extremely angry as they have a trip that day, and he wants all the rest he can get. Fed up with all the noise, Big Russ leaves his house, threatening to teach Wayne a lesson. His wife May follows him and tries to calm him down. Meanwhile, Nick, Wayne's son, goes into the attic to show his father the model he has made of his shrink ray. Nick tries to talk to Wayne, but he's told to leave. After Nick leaves, Wayne tests his machine on an apple. He adjusts the laser to shrink an apple, but instead, the apple explodes. Later, at breakfast, Wayne is preoccupied with his thoughts. Amy asks about his shrink ray and reminds him of the conference. He rushes to leave the house when his wife, Diane, calls. Diane had called to check up on the kids and to wish Wayne good luck. Meanwhile, the Thompsons, their next-door neighbors, are preparing to leave for their fishing trip. Ron, the youngest son of the Thompsons, mocks Nick when Big Russ calls to him to get his stuff for the trip. Big Russ also asks his older son, Russell, to help him with the packing. Later, Ron goes into the backyard to play baseball by himself. He hits the ball, and it goes through the Selinsky's attic window and hits Wayne's computer, activating the shrink ray. Ron gets scared and tries to run when Russell catches him. He drags Ron to the Zelinskys to apologize. After knocking on the door, Amy and Nick open the door. Russell looks at Amy as he has a crush on her. Ron apologizes to Amy for breaking the window and asks for his ball back. Amy accepts the apology and tells Nick to take Ron upstairs and clean up the mess and get his ball. The boys go upstairs, and as they enter the attic, they are zapped by the shrink ray. Meanwhile, Wayne is at his conference and tries to justify his project credentials. Everyone at the conference is skeptical of his project since he does not have any evidence. Only Dr. Barnade believes in his project and consoles him. Back at the house, Amy and Russell get worried and rush to the attic to check on the boys. When they enter the attic, they see the shrink ray sparking and are also zapped by it. As Amy and Russell shrunk, Ron and Nick come running towards them. It turns out that the shrink ray had also shrunk Ron and Nick. Quark comes in and barks at them. In the meantime, Wayne returns home from the conference, and Quark leads him to the attic. Wayne calls out the kids' names, but there is no response. The children shout, but they cannot be heard or seen as they are too tiny. Wayne notices that his thinking couch is also missing in the attic. As Wayne moves across the attic, he notices the broken window. Wayne seems disappointed and says that all of the problems are due to the shrink ray. In anger, he starts to destroy the shrink ray. The children scream to stop him, but Wayne is unable to hear them. After destroying the shrink ray, Wayne sweeps up the mess with a broom. Unknowingly, he sweeps the children up as well. Wayne throws all the mess into a trash bag and takes the bag downstairs to the backyard to put it with the other garbage bags. After Wayne leaves, the children slice the trash bag open to escape. Amy is worried, but Nick comforts her. After a while, Amy tells the group that they need to get back to the house to get Wayne's help. Russell and Ron have an argument. Eventually, Russell agrees with Amy and tells Ron to follow them. As the children are talking, they hear something big fly by. Russell tells everyone to run and hide under a mushroom. The big thing turns out to be a butterfly. Meanwhile, Diane comes back home and tells Wayne that she has sold a house. It turns out that Diane is a real estate agent. She then asks Wayne about his conference. Wayne replies that a lot of people laughed at his idea, and it was not that great. On the other end, in the backyard, the children come across what seems like a river. Suddenly, it strikes Nick that Quark can help them get back to the house. Nick instructs everyone in the group to whistle. Back in the house, Diane and Wayne are worried because of their children missing. While they try to locate their kids, Quark whines at the door. Wayne lets Quark out in the backyard. Nick, Ron, and Russell climb up a flower so that Quark can hear them better. Nick sees Quark coming into the backyard and whistles to call out to him, but the Thompsons' cat chases him away. The flower starts to sway because of the weight of the three boys. Nick, who is on top of the flower, screams and falls onto another flower. Immediately, Amy tells Nick to get off as he is allergic to pollen. At the same time, a swarm of bees come to pollinate, and Nick gets stuck to one of the bees' bodies. Russell jumps on the bee's body to save Nick, but the bee flies away, taking them along. A few moments later, Wayne is attacked by the bee, who hits it with a baseball bat, not knowing that his child is on the bee. Later, Wayne realizes that the baseball bat does not belong to Nick. He then looks at the broken window and realizes that a ball must have broken it. He rushes to the attic again to find the baseball and steps on the shrunken sofa. Wayne is surprised to see the couch and suspects that the children may have shrunk too. He kneels down to call the children and comes across the broom he used to sweep the floor. Looking at the broom, he connects the dots and realizes that the children may be in the backyard. While searching for the kids in the backyard, Wayne accidentally switches on the sprinkler, which sets the kids in a frenzy. The kids try to prevent the droplets from drowning them. Amy sees Russell and Nick running, and she yells for Nick. Suddenly, a big drop falls on Amy, causing her to fall in a puddle. Russell rushes over to save Amy and tells Nick to get under the ledge with Ron. Later, as they move, they see an oatmeal cream cookie that they all start eating. While eating, Amy notices an ant is also eating the oatmeal cookie and screams. Nick suggests that they capture the ant, as ants are able to carry weight and they move fast. Amy does not like this plan, but the three boys go ahead with it. As they are trying to wrestle with the ant, Amy picks up a cookie crumb to gain the ant's attention. Meanwhile, the Thompsons also report their missing boys. Big Russ gets into an argument with the police as he refuses to believe that the kids have run away. At the Zielinski's house, Wayne runs downstairs and tells Diane that the shrink ray worked by showing her the shrunk couch. He explains to Diane that it's a possibility that the children are shrunk because of the shrink ray. Later that evening, Ron decides to let the ant go, but the ant keeps following them. Diane and Wayne search for the kids using the contraption Wayne has built to avoid stepping on the grass. They are afraid they might step on the kids. While the Zielinskis are hanging from the contraption, Big Russ goes outside to smoke and finds it weird to see them like this. Annoyed, he flicks his cigarette in Zielinski's backyard. The cigarette lands near the kids, who rush towards it. Russell says that it is Big Russ's cigarette, as it is his favorite brand. He also tells them that he smokes only when he's worried. Ron and Russell share a look with each other. While searching for the kids, Diane tells Wayne that they have to inform the Thompsons about their kids. When Diane and Wayne go to the Thompsons' house to tell them about the shrunk kids, they don't believe them. However, when Wayne shows them the shrunk couch under his microscope, they have to believe them. May is shocked and asks the reason for not telling them earlier. Diane replies that initially the machine was not working, hence they were not sure. Big Russ threatens Wayne that nothing better happened to his kids. Meanwhile, the kids find Nick's Lego and sleep in it. Amy and Russell share their thoughts and have their first kiss. While they are kissing, a scorpion attacks them. All of them flee except for Ron. Russell tries to distract the scorpion. At the same time, the ant intervenes. The ant and the scorpion have a fierce fight. Even the kids throw sticks at the scorpion to push him away. However, the ant is brutally injured during the fight and dies. The next morning, Tommy, Nick's friend, comes to cut the grass with a lawnmower as promised to Nick the previous day. The kids hear the rumble and flee in a panic, hiding in an earthworm's burrow. In the attic, Wayne and Diane are trying to fix the shrink ray when they hear the lawnmower. They rush downstairs to stop Tommy. The lawnmower causes the kids to be thrown out of the burrow, luckily escaping the blades. In the meantime, Quark arrives, and all of them climb onto his back and cling tightly. Quark rushes into the house and gets on the dining table. He barks at Wayne, but Wayne pushes him away, which causes Nick to fall into a bowl of cereal. The other kids get off and scream at Wayne not to eat Nick. As Wayne is about to take a bite, Quark bites him on the ankle. Wayne yells and looks down to see Nick in his cereal. Later, the Thompsons and Zelinskys try to fix the shrink ray. However, they have trouble doing so. Eventually, Wayne finds the solution to the shrink ray. However, Big Russ refuses to use it on the children and volunteers himself for the trial. Wayne successfully shrinks Big Russ and returns him back to normal. Wayne then zaps the children, bringing them to their normal size. The movie ends at Thanksgiving with the two families now close friends. Amy and Russell are dating. Even Ron is friends with Nick. At the end, Quark is seen enjoying a massive bone. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos.